Hi, I'm Kimberly Jacobs, and I'm at the Los Angeles premiere of America the Beautiful. This documentary takes a close look at America's unhealthy obsession with beauty. I'm interested to see how the process was in putting this documentary together. Did you face a lot of opposition in the people you talked to?
Actually, you know what? Surprisingly, I didn't face a lot of opposition in making the film. I only faced opposition once the film was done with a couple of cosmetic companies and a couple of people in the industry trying to keep me from getting it out. But in making the film, I was surprised how supportive people was. And I think it's because women has felt this burden for quite a while, and they were tired of it. And they were like, wow, finally somebody's doing this. Let's help them. And I got a lot of help from the industry. People agreed to do interviews that would normally never do an interview for something like this.
Obviously, you knew what you were getting into, but did you find anything that really kind of scared you about the beauty industry?
The only thing that's, I don't want to say scared me, but the only thing that really kind of scared me is the fact that they were aware of what they're doing to people, and they're not going to stop. They admitted they're not going to stop. They said it's about the money. We're not social workers, and kids, their parents supposed to raise them, not us. Now, that's what was scary, because what that means is that we, as human beings in America alone, are left with fixing it. We have to go on what I call a media diet. We have to stop digesting and absorbing all that media ourselves, meaning society is not going to help us. And most likely that may not happen. So that's a scary thought, that we're in a state of moral decay and things will only get worse before they get better. What matters most at the end of the day to me, you know what, being happy, being content, doing something good in the world, kind of being selfless, realizing that I am not just here so I can be wealthy and I can consume and I can have everything, but what are you giving back? So to me, that's what's important, you know, being happy but also giving back.
Do you feel like you gave back a lot with this film?
I do. I'm so happy. Teenage girls loved that I did this movie, so I am so happy that I did it, yes.
I've seen a few of the trailers, but I think the overall message, I think just like, you know, any piece of work, it's hard to take it in segments. It's the whole message, which is that have we gone too far? You know, and I think that's a good question that artists and filmmakers and writers, they need to ask that. And they need to remind us of have we gone too far? And I think that's the message of the film. And even as a plastic surgeon, I think a lot of patients are going too far. Particularly some of the stars that you see with the really distorted faces and really weird lips and kind of looking strange, not necessarily younger.
What would you say is the strangest thing somebody has requested you to do?
I had one guy ask me to reverse a circumcision, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like an undercover thing, and it turns out he was a young guy at UCLA at the time, and he had a whole group of kids his age who were suing their parents for circumcision, and he wanted to get it reversed. So, of course, I didn't do anything, and hopefully nobody did.
Beauty is a really big role in several people's lives, especially out here in Hollywood. At the end of the day, what would you say matters most to you?
Well, it's funny. I interviewed once at the Tyra Banks show, and as I was walking through their studio area, there were all these signs, like Tyra's quotes, and one of them was "Keep it fierce." And I think it was interesting because I occasionally watch her show, and I think what it is attitude. It really is attitude, because I've seen and met some very attractive women, superstars, and they still feel insecure. And there's nothing that you're going to do. There's no surgery. There's no makeup, no hair, clothes that are going to make them. And a lot of times they really need an attitude adjustment more than anything.
America has a lot of problems. You know, I think America is becoming a more celebrity-based society than anything. It's not really about substance anymore. It's not about what's in your heart or what's in your head. It's about what you do, who you date, and how you look. And I think that's a tragedy, and I think we need more films just like this to keep us in perspective of what's really going on.
Tell me about your music. You're a powerful thing in the world today.
Oh yeah, the greatest story ever told. My new album is in stores right now. It's doing great. I have probably what people would consider the #1 song in the nation. You know, me and Chris Brown, Get Like Me. Go buy the album. It's in stores right now.
You faced a lot of criticism about your face, about your body. You're beautiful. How did you deal with that?
It was just hard because sorry. It was just hard because I was like working so much and then it just stopped all of a sudden. So it was like a sudden change for me. When I left New York, because I was called obese at a size 4. I left New York and went to Paris and London to see if they have a different aspect on beauty. Maybe they embrace the bigger women. But they didn't. They wanted a size 0. So that was really hard for me to cope with. So when I came back to the States, I developed an eating disorder. I wasn't eating. I was, maybe a salad here or there, smoothie or whatever, protein drink. And it was just really hard. I was asking my mom to look fat in dresses, do these stretch marks. So, it was really hard for me to cope. I'm still not completely over it. But, I went to my friends and just realized it's not just models and people in the industry. It's my friends. It's my best friends, my sisters. They all have the same problem. So that helped me to know I'm not alone.
It does help. And do you foresee any solutions individually or on a bigger scale?
On a bigger scale, just know, girls, we are not victims. We don't have to, we don't have to keep buying these magazines. We can send thousands of letters into the magazines. I don't want to see this anymore. I want to see something different. I'm tired of this old news. We can do that and eventually make a change. But if we just sit back, relax, and keep buying their stuff, they have no reason to change.
And what would you say is the most powerful scene in the film, if you could name one?
The most powerful scene is probably a lady who's getting plastic surgery who almost died because her plastic surgeon was not board certified and he had a 1-day seminar practicing on tomato. And then the next day went in and tried to do her surgery from what he learned from the tomato. So that was really powerful to be like, it's not worth death at all. Beauty is not worth dying for. And I know a lot of girls who have died just trying to be beautiful.
This film focuses on women, but do you think men can take a message away from this as well, or can they help women out?
Oh, absolutely. It's not something that is just affects women. It affects all of us. And I think how we relate to each other and how we treat each other, interact with each other, affects us all and can be positive and negative. So, yeah, I think it can affect us men as well. I hope so. I got a film out now called Hell Ride. It's a biker film, a crazy Quentin Tarantino biker film. And have a film coming out in February or March next year called Pastor Brown, about how mega churches could negatively affect us. And a film for the Hallmark Channel called Relative Stranger with Cicely Tyson and Eric LaSalle. That's coming out in March, and, a couple of things happening. Yeah, trying to. Hi, I'm Michael Beach.
Hi, I'm Gerren Taylor.
David Banner, the greatest story ever told.
It's Dr. Anthony Griffin.
Hello, this is Darryl Roberts, and I'm watching Maximo TV.